All right, so should we dive into your
No,
what?
but it's still hard. So what's hard is I think it started off really good, like really growing. And then,
Your social media?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then once you hit like a little plateau, which I've hit a couple times, like a little peak where things aren't going as speedy and as fast, you get that, oh crap, that's it. I'm done. Like you start a little bit imposter syndrome, a little bit of um kind of like a letdown a little bit
Mhm.
because you start second guessing if things aren't, you get so used to growth, 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 growth. And then when it peaks ever so slightly, and that's what I mean, ever so slightly, then you're like, oh crap, what'd I do? How come it's not working like it always has? How come this? How come that? How come this? But I have been practicing really hard on visualization, maybe a form of manifestation, and just taking my energy and bringing it back to where it's like, no, this is a stop looking for the instant gratification. That's the word I'm looking for. Stop looking for that constant bing, 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 bing. Because there were times where my phone was constantly binging that I had to shut it off. And so when it's not in that constant bing mode, I'm like, oh, something's happened. Nobody wants to talk to me. Oh, that's it. I'm failing. Like it just I went up or I'm down. Like there was no medium on it. So I actually have caught myself in only selected times to look at results,
Hmm.
only at selected times to even respond to messages, and selected times to go into I use Stan Store to look at what was purchased and what hasn't, what has been done. So it has been a roller coaster of it, to say the least.
And
Well,
you said,
congratulations. I'm going to give you
yeah.
congratulations for growth. That's
Yes.
a definite win. And sorry, Tracy, were you going to say something?
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. Mhm.
Oh, and I'm just curious because going in, you at the last month or the month before with intention and being vulnerable and all this stuff. So there was a goal on your part. Did you think that as you did your goal on this part with your business, that this imposter syndrome and all that would creep up based on the social media results? Like, were you
Yeah.
expecting that and
I don't.
prepared, or did you go, "Holy crap! I know what I'm doing," and all of a sudden this
Yeah.
is kind of shaking my confidence?
It was a little bit of both. It was like at first it was a like I must be dreaming. This is wrong. There's something wrong here. And then I would look because I would think it would be those, you know how you get bots
Mhm.
and fake people and all this stuff. And I would kind of sometimes go into the result, like see who it was. And I'm like, oh, these are actual people. Like these are actual people. So then it was more of an aha moment because it has been things I have been working on all along in my business, but my communication was not, how do I want to say? I don't think people saw the real me.
Okay.
I kind of like got to the point where I didn't give a crap anymore. I don't care if I stumble on my words. I don't care if my hair's a mess or if my little pot belly's sticking out. or the back of my house looks messy. Um, but I just get more intentional and more direct with my message because what I'm speaking on is something I've worked through and what I believe in. And so I just opened up my heart and started talking like I was talking to my best friend sitting right across from me. And it just allowed me to open up my heart. And I had to get vulnerable because I had to speak of my past, because if I didn't speak of my past, you could never see my journey,
Hmm.
while still speaking of my past in still a protective way, because there are people involved that I don't wish to bring into my social media.
Right.
So I don't speak of them. I speak of situations, not of the person. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Hmm. But my
So
question was more if, because you have this confidence and not imposter syndrome about what you're talking about, were
uh,
you surprised that this platform that you're very well aware of and you know the implication, all that kind of shook you a bit in that
oh
it
yeah,
was able to manipulate how you were
yeah,
feeling during the day? Oh, this is great. Oh, this sucks. This is
yeah,
great. Like,
yeah.
and you're aware of it. You're not
It
naive to
is.
it.
It's, I don't think it's, thinking and looking back, I think because this is so in our faces nowadays. I go back to thinking of times where we would hear from something on a phone call, or we get a letter in the mail, or you would get an email. Like you were always waiting for that anticipation. And now this device or these platforms have given you that instant high, that instant low, that instant high, that instant low, the instant high, the instant low, to the point where, nope, I don't, I don't allow it. I brought in my logical brain to the point of, well, it's, I don't know, it's a Monday. Maybe everyone's busy. How do I know if I hit the right algorithm? Who knows what this is and that is? Like, I just try to stop conforming to the algorithm and just speak and leave it, because I know with intention who's supposed to hear it will hear it. And if I put up a reel and it gets 200 views, then that was 200 people that were supposed to hear it. My top reel has had 150,000 reels views. Then that's what it was supposed to. Like, I just have dropped it. And that's hard, but it gives me peace.
So, Michelle, just a quick question. If someone wanted to check out your Instagram, what's your handle?
I had changed it, so make sure. Good thing I have to go here. It's Michelle Bocardi _wellness.
Okay, we'll make sure that's in the show notes, but just,
Yep.
why not check it
Yep.
out? See what
Yeah.
you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question I have for you is how has your vulnerability created the outcome that you're currently experiencing? And does it also show up in other areas of your life besides social media?
Um, yeah. So my vulnerability, my change and my vulnerability allowed me to take the perfectionist Michelle, pick her up, and go put her in the closet and close the door. Because this Michelle makes a ton of mistakes. I do. I'll fumble my words when I talk. Sometimes my mouth goes too quick than my brain. I, you know, always think everything has to look perfect when I'm recording something and whatever. And when I allowed myself, so when I record a reel or go do a take or do a story, it's one take. I mean, I'll record and like edit the recording, but I don't throw a reel out because the house might look messy. I don't throw something out because I stumbled on what I wanted to say. This is who I am. And I think when people started to see that, they were able to say, oh, she's just like me, because nobody is perfect. On the other end, when I'm out, so now I walk into this gym every day, and we all know I have no chest. I had a double mastectomy. I walk in with a tank top on. I have it can be very intimidating to walk in and just walk through the gym. And I go and I try new machines, and I go and I do my trainings, and I have no one. I have my coach, but it's all virtual. So I have to really lean into discomfort and vulnerability and just go do it. Today was a whole new circuit in my training to get me used to going downhill. So it was very awkward and weird and like strange, but I'm like, I'm not going to learn if I'm not vulnerable, and just do it. And so I just do it because I put myself, how do I want to say this? I now look at myself walking through the door, that if somebody wants to think bad things about me because I go in with no chest or whatever, that's on them, not on me. And that has been liberating. Even though I worked on that for many years, this here has to still do with a body image aspect of it. And so it's been like like a weight has been lifted off of me.
So, what success have you seen in both your social media and outside of your social media, um, that has helped you lean into vulnerability?
Inside social media, being vulnerable, I see now that I am connecting with the right type of customer that I need for my business.
Hmm.
And I'm seeing interaction where it was, I was trying beforehand to please the masses. And now I'm just talking directly to my perfect person that I can guide through.
Hmm.
If other people want to pick up and learn from it, that's fine. But for me, that's what it is. And what that has done is it allowed me to go back into some of my key points. Like we always talk, and I know this is another episode about the word of the month, or we had the word of the year. But we've also done episodes by what are your values? What's your words that you live by? What's that? And it made me go deep back into that and push those forward. Vulnerability, integrity, and transparency. And once I really honed in and lived those words on everything, yeah, I have my bad days still. Everybody still does. But
Mm.
it's more, I feel like I'm more on the right. I don't feel like I'm all broad all over the place. And
Mm.
I'm right here on the road.
And you're outside of social media, how have you seen
The
that
same,
vulnerability? Same, eh? Okay, cool.
the same. Yeah.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, I just, like I said, the gym, I'm out, I just talking to people, it's just much easier. I don't want to say the word give a damn anymore, but I live true to me and only me.
So isn't that interesting because you have done that already, lived true to you, but you took it the next layer up. And by like to go and put yourself out on social media, I don't want to say raw, but with that
Yeah,
intention is hard. It's very hard. You might want to do it, but do you actually do it? You're saying you actually did it, even though you knew this, you were giving all that before. So I just, it's kind of like a next level up. Like I
yeah,
did it
it was
before,
like,
but now I'm
yeah,
really doing it. And
and
I
then
just want to commend you. Like that's very hard to do and good on you. Like good on
yeah,
you.
thank you very much.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
it is very hard. And I
it
think
is.
that to take it the next level up, you should very much congratulate yourself.
And
Mhm.
you get comments, I get comments, and the only thing I think of that comments that don't correspond to like what I'm teaching,
Yeah.
discussing, whatever, I just let them be. I don't really care in my mind. That's you want to get here?
Sorry
Yes.
about that. Sorry.
I'm like, why did everyone just switch? Um, I just take it as they're just in my world and that's okay, but I don't have to respond to them. That's
That's
it.
your choice.
Yes.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit more to it. That's my choice and aspect of it. Beforehand, I don't think I've been coaching for a while and I've always had positive feedback. We've always dug in, you know, we've been together for so long, the three of us. But I think I took my coaching to another level, meaning I dug deeper in what I wanted to guide women with. And I had to go back almost 20 years to that Michele. And that's the woman I want to pull. I want to take who she was 20 years ago, and I want to help every woman to just blossom and see
Yeah.
there is life. There is another side when there is, and that's when I went back to that Michele and talked about her there. That's where I did so much healing, and it was people were like, "Oh, there's someone else just like me out there."
Mm. That's awesome.
I know.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. I
What
think
what
that's
what's
excellent.
your what would be your advice to somebody then who is uh trying to increase their vulnerability but are afraid to?
It comes with baby steps. I think sometimes we feel we have to switch everything like I'm gonna be vulnerable and I'm just gonna share everything in my life, like spew it out to everybody, talk about everything to everybody. I think if you wish to be vulnerable, it's gonna be scary because you have to choose. You can be vulnerable with somebody and it backfires. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't have been vulnerable. It just means that wasn't the right person you should have been vulnerable with. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Because so choose somebody to be vulnerable with and share your story or your what you want to share about in the most honest, I want to say raw way, but still be um like don't be a raving lunatic while you're talking. Like get your thoughts together that you want to share and only share what you wish to share. So as I stated in the beginning of the episode, I share things about my past, but I share situations and emotions. I'm sorry, I'm having hot flashes, so I got to put my fan on and off. I share emotions, thought processes, but I don't get into exact details. I don't get into names. I don't get into even locations at times because I don't want to bring those people back into my life and my circle. But I do think it's fair to share the experience in it. So you can't still be vulnerable without giving every ounce of detail to it. It's being vulnerable with your emotion. This is how I felt. I felt unseen, unheard, lost. I didn't know what was happening. Like, one of the biggest things is that really hit home to a lot of people is everything looks perfect, but inside you're cracking. Like, it's okay to say it's not perfect, you know? I'm not, just what I was talking to you about. I'm not perfect. I'm not okay. It is okay when someone says, "How are you?" and you say, "I'm not okay." It's not a good day. That's being vulnerable. You don't have to even give details. I just am having a tough day. Don't really want to talk about it, but I appreciate it that you asked me how I was. That is vulnerability. So start small. Small steps get you the furthest than diving in.
Mhm.
It's like not swimming and diving in, knowing how to swim, and you dive in the deep end. Something's going to happen. You're going to make it. So
Well, congrats, Michelle. That's awesome. You should be very proud of yourself.
Yep.
thank you. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
Um, so what about you? What about you, viewer? Do you practice vulnerability? And what do you think? Put it down in the comments. Love to hear from you. Or share this with somebody who you think would benefit from this. As always, make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit notifications so you know when our next episode will come out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.